It's been the rain of me, poor girl, and me, oh God, forward. So tell my baby sister, never do as I have done, to shine that house in New Orleans, they call it rising sun. My mother, she's a tailor. She stole those new blue jeans.
I
My
remember when I
sweetheart,
was
he's a
young
drunken
and
old
listening to this song.
drink
I
standing
was probably 5 at the time,
beyond
but the song moved me in a way I couldn't understand. Then I heard it a second time when my dad's group, the Ventures, were playing it. It became one of my favorite melodies. There is speculation that the original melody was passed on from a 16th century English folk song. Some believe it's about a brothel or perhaps a hostel. The lyrics may have changed over the years, so the song is interpreted in many different ways. Others believe the house never existed and it's all just fiction. In 1964, a music group called The Animals recorded a successful hit, and many believe that they wrote and owned the song.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. In God, I know I'm
It's no doubt a traditional folk song. The earliest recording I found was by a man named Clarence Tom Ashley. He recorded the song back around 1933. Clarence Tom Ashley, who was actually born Clarence Earl McCurry, was taught this version by his grandfather, and then later he recorded the version himself. His grandfather claimed it was passed on to him by a woman. Clarence Tom Ashley may have referenced the song after his father had been kicked out of the family for adultery, as well as the circumstances of the Great Depression.
in New Orleans. They call a rising sun, where many poor boys to destruction has gone, and me, oh God, for one. Just fill a glass up to the brim. Let the drinks go merrily around. We'll drink to the life of a
There was a guy they called Lead Belly. He recorded another slightly different version in 1937.
Let us gamble these days. Tell me, baby, sister, don't tell my baby sister. Don't do as I have done. Please shine that house and New Orleans. They call the rising sun.
In listening to a lot of the earlier recordings, I realized the song was actually coming from the viewpoint of a woman, and so being could have been written by a woman. In some of the lyrics, it talks about a house that they see the rising sun. If it was a brothel, then yes, at the end of their day, they would see a rising sun. It's been the ruin of many poor girls. Tell my baby sister not to do the things I've done. My husband, as opposed to my father, was a gambling man. It also talks about him being a drunk. So, considering it based on this, she left home at an early age, got married, and ended up working in a hostel or brothel, perhaps while her husband was a drunk gambler. Between 1940 and 1970, three female artists recorded the song from a woman's viewpoint, or perhaps from the original lyrics.
There is a house in New Orleans. They call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many poor girls and me. Oh God, for
If I had listened to what my mother said, I'd have been at home today. But I was young and foolish. Oh God, let a rambler lead me astray. Go tell my baby sister, don't do what I have done.
Being so young and foolish, I let a gambler lead me astray. My mother is a tailor. She sews those new blue jeans. My sweetheart's a drunkard, drinks down in New Orleans. Well, the only thing a drunkard man needs is a suitcase and a truck. The only time he's satisfied is when he's on a drum. Go tell my baby sister, never do what I have done. Stay away from that house, they call it the Rising Sun.
The Everly Brothers recorded their own version in the 50s and 60s. Other artists included Bob Dylan, 1962, and Sinead O'Connor, 1994. There were a number of other artists as well. It was and still is a big hit with the Ventures. My dad, Jerry McGee, recorded his own version in 1997 on his album titled Born in Louisiana. A lot of people have asked about the actual location of the house, the House of the Rising Sun. In 1821, an issue of the Louisiana Gazette ran an announcement announcing that an L.S. Hotchkiss and Company had bought interest in the Rising Sun Hotel. The actual spot is presently located at 535 Conti Street in New Orleans. The hotel opened in 1801, but in 1822 it was destroyed by a fire. There is also indication of another house, possibly an old brothel or a hostel, located in New Orleans back in the 1800s that belonged to a Madame Marianne Le Soleil Levant, whose surname in French is Rising Sun. I discovered both locations are only a block away from a train track or an old depot, which perhaps would fit the line in the song. I got one foot on the platform, the other on the train. And Another idea is that the House of the Rising Sun was actually a place to get free coffee and donuts in the morning during the Depression years. There are so many speculations to the origins of this song. There is no claim to who actually wrote the song. There's no copyright on it. My feeling is that it was actually passed on from someone who immigrated to the U.S. from Ireland as opposed to England. And it was written by a woman. Regardless, the song's main focus is about a life that went wrong. I don't think it really matters where it was or who it was about. It could have represented a lot of folks during that time. I've always wanted to record this song myself singing. So what better way to do and sing with the family? I re-recorded this version of my dad. So here it is, along with my brother Kane, playing the drums. Something short and simple.